For decades, Malaysia and Australia have shared a partnership built on trust, trade, and regional cooperation. From education and defense to investment and people-to-people ties, the relationship between the two nations has continued to evolve alongside a rapidly changing global landscape. In April 2026, that partnership entered a new chapter as Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese undertook an official visit to Malaysia. The visit comes at a time when the Indo-Pacific region faces growing geopolitical uncertainty, economic challenges, and increasing competition for investment and strategic influence. Against this backdrop, both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation and exploring new opportunities for growth. Today, Australia remains one of Malaysia's key strategic partners, with two-way trade valued at billions of dollars annually. Australian investments support sectors ranging from digital infrastructure, renewable energy, to education, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing. Major Australian companies continue to expand their footprint in Malaysia, reflecting growing confidence in the country's economic fundamentals. As Malaysia advances its ambitions in the digital economy, green technology, artificial intelligence, and high-value industries, Australia is positioning itself as a partner in supporting innovation, skills development, and sustainable growth. The relationship extends beyond economics. For more than 7 decades, Malaysia and Australia have worked closely on regional security, defense cooperation, and multilateral engagement through ASEAN and other international platforms. Both countries share a vision for an open, stable, and prosperous Indo-Pacific, where dialogue, cooperation, and respect for international law remain essential to maintaining peace and stability. The visit also highlights the growing importance of ASEAN. As Malaysia continues to play an active role within the regional bloc, Australia has reaffirmed its commitment to deeper engagement with Southeast Asia through trade, investment, and strategic cooperation. From boardrooms and business hubs to ports, universities, and innovation centers, the partnership between Malaysia and Australia continues to generate opportunities that benefit businesses, communities, and future generations. But beyond the official meetings, investment announcements, and diplomatic engagements, what does this relationship mean for both countries? How significant is Australia's role in Malaysia's economic transformation? And what opportunities lie ahead in an increasingly complex global environment?
Hello and welcome to Global Perspective. I am Suhil Noor. Today, we focus on a growing partnership between Malaysia and Australia, two nations connected by decades of cooperation in trade, education, investment, and regional security. As both countries move towards celebrating 70 years of diplomatic relations in 2027, bilateral ties continue to strengthen under the comprehensive strategic partnership established in 2021. Today, Malaysia is Australia's 9th largest trading partner, with two-way trade reaching nearly $35 billion in 2025. Investment links are also expanding, particularly in sectors such as the digital economy, education, food security, and energy transition. During Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's visit to Malaysia in April 2026, both countries reaffirmed their commitment to deeper cooperation, including new agreements on halal food trade and energy security. But what do these developments mean for Malaysia? And what opportunities lie ahead as both nations navigate an increasingly competitive global landscape? Joining us tonight is Her Excellency Ms. Danielle Heinecke, Australia High Commissioner to Malaysia. Stay tuned with Global Perspective. Her Excellency, thank you so much for being with us in RTM World. Maybe to begin, Malaysia and Australia have enjoyed decades of strong diplomatic and economic relations. How would you describe the current state of cooperation between both countries today, particularly in trade and investment?
Well, Australia and Malaysia have been working together for decades, as you say, since we set up our first diplomatic office here over 70 years ago. Trade and investment, our two-way trade is $35 billion, very healthy, around top 10 economy. in investment, we've got a little bit further to go, I think, and that's why the government has launched Invested. But in recent times, we've become the fourth largest investor in Malaysia's digital economy. We've had really big Australian companies like Linus, like AirTrunk, NextDC that have all recently announced new investments here. So we're expecting that our FDI stock will grow here in Malaysia. You may also remember last year when our Prime Minister came, we also announced a new Monash campus here. So really wanted to highlight education, because education has really been the underpinning of our relationship and really underpins trade investment. We have 500,000 Malaysians that have studied in Australian institutions, both in Australia and increasingly now in Kuala Lumpur, Penang and in Sarawak, where we have 2 campuses. And that investment in education is really important to the future between our 2 countries and I guess how we understand each other.
I think the most important part is to present Malaysia not just an observer, our strategic posture in international arena, our position in today's world where everyone is competing the attention. Perspective matters. So what is our perspective from Malaysian perspective, from ASEAN perspective? Hence why RTM World coming in at the right time, at the right moment, in a very super hyper-connected world, at the same time in a very challenging landscape.
So what makes really Australia attractive? What makes Malaysia as an attractive destination for Australian businesses?
So Malaysia sits in the heart of ASEAN. ASEAN has a market of 700 million people, and our businesses are attracted here not just to access the Malaysian market, but to access supply chains into ASEAN. So a lot of our companies that are setting up here in Malaysia, why are they choosing Malaysia? They're choosing Malaysia because it has good investment settings, it's had political stability in recent times, policy stability is really important. So that's things like, do your taxation laws stay the same? Is it reliable at the border? Is there predictable policy going forward around equity ownership, etc.? So Malaysia has been a pretty stable policy environment over the last 4 years in particular, and a lot of companies are investing more and more in Malaysia. It's also things like reliability of water, electricity. They're really important for some sectors as well, and our businesses comment that it's a really reliable place for being able to access electricity, water, land fairly reliably. So in that environment, Malaysia is quite attractive. Malaysia is number 2 country for Australia after Singapore, and as I mentioned before, Singapore is a financing hub. So some of the investment that goes into Singapore actually results in investment here in Malaysia.
In March 2024, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim embarked on his first official visit to Australia since assuming office, marking another important chapter in the long-standing relationship between the 2 countries. The visit, held from the 4th to the 7th of March, reflected the growing momentum in Malaysia-Australia ties at a time of increasing geopolitical and economic significance across the Indo-Pacific region. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim program began in Melbourne, where he met with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese for the 2nd Australia-Malaysia Annual Leaders Meeting, or ALM. The meeting served as a platform for both leaders to review progress under the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership established in 2021 and discuss ways to strengthen cooperation across trade, investment, education, cybersecurity, and regional security. Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to deepening collaboration in emerging sectors, including the digital economy, renewable energy, and food security. The visit also coincided with the ASEAN-Australia Special Summit commemorating 50 years of dialogue relation between Australia and ASEAN. Held in Melbourne, the summit brought together regional leaders to discuss economic integration, sustainable development, and regional stability amid an increasingly complex global environment. For Malaysia, the summit provided an opportunity to strengthen engagement with Australia while reinforcing ASEAN's central role in shaping the future of the region. Beyond multilateral diplomacy, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim used the platform to highlight Malaysia's economic ambitions and its role as a key destination for investment and innovation within Southeast Asia. The final leg of the visit took place in Canberra, where Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim held further bilateral engagement with Australian leaders, policymakers and business stakeholders. A key highlight was his public lecture at the Australian National University, where he shared Malaysia's perspective for regional cooperation, economic development, and the challenges facing the international community. The address reflected Malaysia's commitment to constructive engagement, a dialogue, and a rules-based international order. More than a diplomatic engagement, the March 2024 visit demonstrated the depth of Malaysia-Australia relations and the shared vision of both countries for a stable, prosperous, and inclusive Indo-Pacific. As both nations continue to expand cooperation in trade, investment, education, and strategic affairs, the visit laid the foundation for stronger collaboration and new opportunities in the years ahead.
Collaboration between Malaysia and Australia in the aerospace sector is opening up new opportunities for skills development, technical training and career advancement for Malaysians. With Australian Aerospace Engineering and Maintenance Company TAE Aerospace expanding its presence in the country. Head of TAE Malaysia Services Ray Fred Besset said Malaysia's strategic location, government support for the industry and growing pool of skilled workers make the country an ideal hub for aerospace training and maintenance activities.
So I'm setting up this facility, employing up to 50 Malaysians, etc., etc. My next round is to expand heavily into the region with Malaysia as the hub. That is both in training and also in maintenance. Okay. Right now, I've already been approached for training opportunities in this field from other countries in the region. So, haven't gone anywhere with that because I need to set up this facility first.
Growing demand for skilled aerospace personnel in Australia and across the region presents new pathways for qualified Malaysians to gain international exposure and career opportunities. The initiative is benefiting local trainees, including former military personnel undergoing specialised aerospace training programs.
Yang mungkin saya tak akan dapat dekat mana-mana tempat dan saya dapat pula peluang ni dengan apa yang saya tengah buat sekarang. So, saya tak perlu bermula daripada kosong ataupun saya nak perlu mencari sumber rujukan yang terlalu dalam untuk saya nak memahami lebih lagi apa yang saya akan lalui.
The collaboration supports Malaysia's efforts to strengthen its aerospace talent pipeline while enhancing workforce readiness in a high-value industry.
How can we make more impact in terms of positioning and advance our strategic posture internationally in terms of Malaysia, ASEAN, and to become a credible global South and its voices and making an impact in this arena. At the end of the day, Malaysia, we are not a superpower, and that's also an advantage for us to really make a mark internationally and have a meaningful conversation, to have a meaningful connection, and putting perspective in which perspective matters in this world.
And how do you see Malaysia halal economy maybe?
Yeah, we see halal as a really important part of the economy here. Part of that is in meat. We've had around about 25 to 26 of our meat establishments in Australia certified by JACIM, so we're the highest around beef coming into Malaysia. But it's not just beef, it's also companies like Blackmores do their manufacturing and have gone through the JACIM certification process. They do their manufacturing here in Malaysia, and they're looking at setting up here partly to access the Middle Eastern market from Malaysia. So Australia does recognise, Australian companies really looking at the JACIM Halal brand and see Malaysia as an important entry point for accessing other halal markets.
Malaysia's strong healthcare ecosystem, skilled workforce and growing reputation in medical tourism continue to attract international healthcare investments. CEO of Icon ASEAN, Serena Wee, said Malaysia was selected as one of the group's key expansion destinations in Southeast Asia due to its established healthcare infrastructure and access to qualified medical professionals. Brisbane-headquartered Icon Group, an Australian cancer care provider, expanded into Malaysia in 2023 through its partnership with Island Hospital in Penang.
Malaysia has built itself up, over the last decade, particularly in terms of having a strong reputation for providing good, solid healthcare. And hence, even building it for itself a very good platform for medical tourism, not just for Malaysians, but for other nationalities across the region to come into Malaysia for healthcare.
The investment reflects growing confidence among international healthcare providers in our healthcare sector and supports the government's efforts to strengthen medical tourism, attract foreign investment, and improve access to specialized healthcare services.
As the world faces growing geopolitical uncertainty, events far beyond our region continue to shape economies, markets, and supply chains worldwide. Recent tensions involving the United States and Iran have once again highlighted how quickly global developments can affect energy security, trade flows, and investor confidence. Rising concerns over oil prices and supply chain disruptions have reinforced the importance of resilient and reliable partnership. Recent escalations have renewed concerns about energy markets and global economic stability. For countries like Malaysia and Australia, economic resilience is becoming increasingly important in navigating an unpredictable global environment. From energy security and food supply to investment and regional cooperation, both nations are working together to strengthen stability, new opportunities for sustainable growth. During Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's visit to Malaysia in April 2026, both countries reaffirmed cooperation on energy security and resilient supply chains amid global uncertainty. So, how can Malaysia and Australia continue to build resilience in an increasingly uncertain world? Stay tuned with Global Perspective.
At the end of the day, it's about the trust. At the end of the day, it's about relevance. In this context, trust and relevance, not just domestically, but also globally. We have to advance our so-called interests in making sure that we have a proper dialogue, proper engagement with international communities. Because we're not alone here in this world. We need to know each other, and once we know each other better, a lot of success can be created from that.
Okay, one issue currently drawing global attention is the rising of the war between Iran and America. So how concerning is the current global situation economically in Australia?
Yeah, I mean, I think all parts of the world are experiencing inflation. They're experiencing uncertainty around future fuel supply and in some cases food supply. Australia is fairly lucky around we are a oil and gas economy, as well as in huge investment into renewables, which is actually helping reduce the dependence. But still really important that we have international partners like Malaysia, like Singapore, like other parts of Southeast Asia, where we trade energy and food. And so I think together we are able to kind of secure our futures. But I think it is worrying for some consumers that are seeing price rises. We're seeing that in ASEAN more generally, and Australia is trying to do what we can around ASEAN to help for the economies that have been worse off. Malaysia's in a really good position as a oil and gas producer, and you will have noticed when our Prime Ministers came here met in April that they talked quite a lot about our mutual dependence in energy and food security. Our top 5 exports and imports to each other are in the kind of energy food space, and that's going to be really important for each other, that we continue to have a no surprises approach, which is what the Prime Minister agreed when they came here.
In my opinion, I would like to say that Australia providing quality of educations to the students as well, and also in Malaysia, same goes to Malaysia.
In my opinion, more people believe that Australia providing a quality education like Malaysia. So that's why people choose to go for Australia for continue their higher education.
My opinion about Australia, which is about trade, because I'm a Malaysian citizen, and of course I want to talk about Malaysian trade and Australia. And Australia, the most interesting things about Australia, because Australia exports things like a dairy, like cheese, milk and meat to Malaysia. And Malaysia also have exports like palm oil to Australia. And as citizen, a Malaysian citizen, I'm really glad about both countries can share their trade and can fulfill their economic interests. That's all for me.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. We've heard from our guests, explored the growing relationship between Malaysia and Australia, and listened to what Malaysians themselves think about Australia. A special thank you to Her Excellency Ms. Danielle Heinecke, Australia High Commissioner to Malaysia, for joining us and sharing her valuable insights on the future of Malaysia-Australia relations. At the end of the day, strong international partnerships are not just about governments and policies. They're also about people, opportunities and shared experiences. Thank you for joining us on Global Perspective. I'm Suhil Noor. Until next time, stay curious, take care, and keep looking at the world from a different perspective. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day ahead.
4, 3, 2,